I've never had an orgasm from sex. Do a 360 helicopter spin on a peanut, like fucking circus performer, like doing contortionist backflips onto the wiener. I've seen comments online that are like, I don't think Emma has sex. Emma does not exude an ounce of sexual energy. I think if we were to pull down her pants, we would find it was smooth like a Barbie doll down there. There's no vagina. She doesn't have sex. And
welcome back. Today, we're summarizing Emma Chamberlain's podcast, where she gets real about sex, relationships, and self-acceptance. From mismatched sex drives to embracing your sexual style. Here's the best advice Emma shared. Let's dive in.
When you're dating somebody who wants to have sex more than you end up in a position sometimes where you feel like you're pretending, you know? You might have sex when you're not in the mood, and you kind of feel weird about it. It feels inauthentic. It feels ingenuine because you're not in the mood. It's not what you want to be doing. And you're kind of just doing it. And it doesn't feel deep. It doesn't feel exciting. It doesn't feel true. Or, you know, you have to reject your partner on a frequent basis, which is kind of a bummer. The likelihood that you and your partner are going to have perfectly aligned sex drives it's rare. But I think for most people, it's a matter of communication. If you and your partner have opposite sex drives, you probably need to discuss sex a bit more than a couple who has, you know, a super synced sex drive. There is no specific answer. And every relationship varies, right? I will say though, if you really do want to try to come up with some sort of number, I think your best option is to take an average of your and your partner's ideal frequency of sex. I think one of the worst things you can do is set some sort of expectation or like be striving to hit some sort of quota. That's not how this works. Sex should be intuitive. You should have sex when you want to have sex. If it feels good to you both, you're good. But if you're feeling like, I'm not happy with the frequency, like it feels off, it feels like it's too much, it feels like it's not enough, then you need to have conversations about it, right? To be honest, I don't think anyone ever feels 100% ready. So I would recommend that you let go of that expectation. It's okay to be nervous because you've never done it before and you don't know what to do. You have someone to have sex with that makes you feel 100% comfortable and safe, who you can truly trust. Again, sex is a really vulnerable thing, and it's even more vulnerable when it's your first time and you don't really know what you're doing. You ideally want to be with somebody who is going to take care of you, who is going to make you feel comfortable, who's going to teach you how it works. You know, so you want someone who you're familiar with, who perhaps you're even dating, to help make the situation less intimidating and more comfortable and also more enjoyable. You need to make sure that you are the one making this choice. Nobody else is impacting your decision making. Not your significant other, not your crush, not your friends, not society. This decision should be made for you. Somebody said, "Is it bad that I'm not a total freak in the bedroom?" LOL. I feel like everyone I see loves having sex so much, and my style is pretty mellow. It's hard not to be self-conscious or feel like I won't be enough for my partner. I totally get this. I could not get this more. And I have spent so many years in relationships being like, oh my God, do I need to like watch more porn and study and figure out how to be crazy and like, you know, do a 360 helicopter spin on a peanut? Like, what do I need to learn? Listen, not to like give you too much information, but like I am the same way. I'm pretty mellow. I'm pretty chill. I'm not doing anything crazy. I'm also not into it though. It's not like I am bringing nothing to the table. I am aware that I bring things to the table, but I'm not a porn star. Myself even, I'm sick of myself feeling bad about not being this like fucking circus performer, like doing contortionist backflips onto the wiener. You know, like I'm sick of like, you know, not knowing how to tie my partner up into like a crazy knot with a rope and swinging them from the ceiling. Like I'm sick of like feeling like, oh my God, should I be doing that? I don't know. I'm sick of feeling like, wow, I'm not really making that much noise in bed. I'm not like moaning and screaming at the top of my lungs. Vanilla sex is okay. Spread the word. Spread the hashtag. I'm going to say it. I've never in my life had an orgasm from sex. I haven't. I just don't think it's my anatomy. Or maybe I just haven't figured it out. But everybody's body is different. And like the female anatomy varies. And like I need to show you what I like, you know? And here's how it works. And let's get on the same page. Is that ideal? Sure. But I do understand that it's a bit challenging, especially if you've been with your partner now for like multiple months, potentially even years. I would have tried to have made it a hot thing during sex and been like, do a little more of that, buddy. Let's do a little bit more of that. Oh, when you just did that like that, more of that. Maybe experiment with some role play. Okay, and to pretend to be teachers and teach each other. Maybe you could even start by being like, hey, why don't you teach me how to give you head? Why don't you teach me? You know, and then you can be like, now let me teach you. Do you see what I'm saying? It's like a total trick. It's a total trick, but you win because you get to teach your boyfriend how to figure it out down there. I've heard this works for some women, being on top. You can choose your own destiny in a way, and you're a bit more in control. But I think the best idea is to like pretend like you're like, be like, why don't you teach me how to do this? And then your boyfriend's gonna be like, well, you're already really good. And be like, no, I want to learn from you. And like pretend to be like a sexy student, not in like a creepy way, but like in like a, you're teaching me how to do this. And then, you know, it could be hot for you guys. Maybe try that.